This is wild. We have some more bad news for Bungie's dumpster fire that is called Marathon. Apparently, an article has just dropped which Bungie has expressly abandoned a Marathon trademark after opposition from RC car maker Traxxas. Very interesting. Let's check this out. Bungie has abandoned one of its Marathon's trademarks following a legal opposition from Traxxas. Now, if only we could get them to abandon the project altogether, right? If we could just get them to say, F Marathon, we need Destiny 3, surely then we'll be saved, right? I swear every time I talk about Marathon, all anyone wants to say is, I wish they made Destiny 3 instead. Back in May 2023, Bungie filed a trademark application for Traxxas, a fictional corporation tied to its original and upcoming Marathon games. The name isn't new for longtime fans. Traxxas has shown up before in Bungie's sci-fi universe, including in Halo lore, but as Bungie moved to lock down official trademarks for various in-game factions, it ran into a roadblock. In October 2024, RC car manufacturer Traxxas filed a formal opposition with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. Damn, they got the RC car companies after them. It claimed that Bungie's Traxxas name was too close to its own long-standing Traxxas brand and that it could confuse customers, especially since both marks covered things like clothing. So Bungie wants to own the trademark so that way they can sell Traxxas merchandise on their store. Obviously, this is going to be a big part of Marathon's lore and a part of the franchise. And this RC car company has Traxxas with 2 X's and an A. Is that too close? If I started a company and I spell it Bungy, am I going to get in trouble? How far off do you have to make it, right? Since we last reported on this case, there's been a major update, and it looks like the matter is officially closed. Bungie dropped Traxxas trademark after months of delays and settlement talks. Wow. Months. Just think about all of the money that's wasted on these like trivial battles, right? Like countless discussions and legal teams working with each other and against each other, just so you can have a silly name like Traxxas. Following the opposition, Bungie and Traxxas went back and forth on the timeline. Between November 2024 and June 2025, both parties filed 5 different consent motions to extend the deadlines. Each time they cited the same reason: parties are engaged in settlement discussions. Fast forwarding to earlier this month, on July 14th, 2025, Bungie filed an official express abandonment document seen by the Game Post of the trademark application. The filing was signed by both Bungie and Traxxas' legal representatives and reads, applicant Bungie Incorporated expressly abandons application serial number, 980 . This abandonment is with the written consent of opposer Traxxas LP, as evidenced by the signature of opposer's attorney below. The parties respectfully request dismissal of the opposition without prejudice. So Bungie has given up on Traxxas. It's over for them. It's over for the Traxxas lore. They're going to have to do something else. I wonder if this allows them to just not be able to sell merchandise that says Traxxas on it with the logo, or if this means that they can't have the name Traxxas inside their game. I mean, it's their own IP, but I imagine they probably will have to change the faction altogether due to this lawsuit, right? Like, you couldn't have a faction in your game called McDonald's because there's copyright infringement there, right? I'm curious to see how that stuff works, actually. The very next day, the Trademark Trial and Appeal Board confirmed the case was closed. The Traxxas trademark application was abandoned, and the opposition was dismissed without prejudice. This wasn't Bungie's only Marathon-related trademark. The studio has also filed for UESC, Maida, Sekaguchi Genetics, and CYAC, all names tied to in-game lore and factions. Interestingly, some of those filings were also abandoned back in March 2025, though without any public dispute attached to them. So a bunch of those were abandoned as well. I wonder if some of the art theft ties into this at all, because if the graphics associated with some of these were some of the stolen artwork, maybe they don't want to like create a patent on potentially stolen work. I don't know if those two are connected in any way. That may be the reason why they just like drop it. It seems though, in regards to that trademark being dropped and these others, that there could be an element of like, maybe Bungie is very on the fence, or maybe they're even trying to move away from Marathon in general. I don't think that Marathon is a canceled project as of right now. I think that a lot of people probably want it to be. I mean, even I am like extremely skeptical of this game's success. Like, I don't want to see games fail, though. I don't want to see necessarily Bungie fail. I just want there to be good games. I want Destiny 2 to do well. I want Marathon to do well. I want all the games to do well, because then I have more fun things to play. But Marathon, it screams lost cause. As for the game itself, Marathon has been officially delayed, and there's currently no new release date. Bungie says development is still underway and that the studio is running regular playtests under NDA. So a lot of people are still able to play Marathon right now. Bungie is playtesting it as they've scrubbed all the assets clean. They're letting people jump back in. They're experimenting with a whole new color palette apparently, so they're going to be changing a lot. The next time we see Marathon, it should look drastically different from what we saw from the alpha. It should look drastically different. I mean, that it really grabs people's attention in a way that it didn't originally. We got here, this is the company Traxxas. They sell RC cars, and they're the ones that went after Bungie's patent. It's so crazy to me that two companies in two completely different spheres would have patent issues, you know? Like, Bungie is trying to develop a video game. They're not trying to sell RC cars, as far as I know. It would have been better to create a collaboration, if I can say, though. A collaboration where we get Destiny 2 RC cars. Can you imagine a little micro mini RC car? Rather than enemies that were created from this one. And a bunch of wasted legal fees, for sure. The same logo, yeah, the logo is very different. They went with like a graffiti style font logo. It's so different. It's crazy to me that it can be that close and you can get dinged for copyright infringement. I have heard of this happening before, though. Like, I do know that you have to be very mindful of the brands that you try to trademark, and they can't be similar to other stuff. At this stage, though, I swear there's so much stuff that's already trademarked that, you know, you want to make sure you actually have a good lawyer and set this up correctly, because investing all this time and effort into developing all this lore and this story and stuff just to have to change it, like, they're gonna have to change it from Traxxas to something else, probably. I don't know what they're gonna change it to. Something totally different, which is gonna affect the lore, the story, whatever development they've already created, any sort of in-game dialogue might all have to change now, which just adds even more difficulties for this already very, very troubled game, Marathon. This game is extremely troubled. This is Bungie's problem child for sure. I just don't see a world where Marathon launches successfully with all of this. I just don't see a world. They say any publicity is good publicity, right? And Marathon is getting all the negative publicity. If anything, if that is true at all, then Marathon will be a smashing success if any publicity is good publicity. Let me know what you think about it, with Marathon abandoning their trademark for this and for several other faction names. As soon as we get any more Marathon news, we will bring you a swift update because we're following it very closely. So make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and we'll see you in the next one. Later.